Hi, my name is Sally Ann Stearns. I am a 42-year-old female, obviously, with Morgellons disease. I live in Montana. My face and body is cleared a bit, but I have basically a hole on top of my head. And for a year and a half, I've had a massive amount of chunks of this white fiber, sometimes a few black ones, coming out of there, and it is basically disrupted a whole bunch of my bodily functions and brain function. The worst thing about dealing with this is just been the massive amount of fatigue, chronic fatigue symptoms for 15 years, got worse 10 years ago, and a lot worse 5 years ago. About 4.5 years ago, I finally switched clinics because my symptoms were being ignored and not taken seriously, and I had a brain scan, and then which looked like MS, and then I had a spinal tap or lumbar puncture tap or whatever that's called. And I just found out when I went into the emergency room the last time. And my doctor was actually on shift there when she read my findings. Actually, she did that in the clinic before the ER visit. But when she read the findings of them, it had stated that there was a band and that it should have been repeated, the test. For some reason, that clinic that I went to never told me that. I was treated by a neurologist for a couple years and misdiagnosed quite a bit. But neither of the practitioners that reviewed that report told me that for some weird reason. Almost 5 years ago, and I've been living in complete torturous hell and dysfunction for the last 5 years. A lot of it because of medical what's the word I'm looking for? God. It's kind of tough to really accurately show you or tell you the amount of cognitive dysfunction I've had. My birthday is September 3rd, and I was always the youngest kid in class. I had a 4.0, tested in the 99th percentile, could have graduated a year early, had a photographic memory, and now I stand up to go get a split ring or clasp to make the jewelry for the incredibly successful business that I lost due to this disease. It's not the only business I've lost due to disease. Anyways, I don't even know what I was talking about. I stand up to get a component I need, and I instantly forget. I just look at this and I just constantly have mental confusion. I'm trying really, really hard to get an art show together, enough pieces to do an art walk tomorrow night. And I'm trying desperately to raise funds for my situation, so that I don't end up homeless again. It's unfortunate that I've been homeless in jail so many times, and I think that had I been told about this MS, which, talking to some people that know a lot more about some of this stuff, actually MS can result from Lyme's disease. Morgellons definitely does result And to show you just kind of the top of my head so you can see what's going on and what all is basically traveling through my neuro pathways and nervous system and causing dysfunction on almost every level of my body. I'm fighting for my life, but it's super hard to just get a tiny bit of financial support. People throw benefits for people that have conditions that are a lot less severe, and they also have people in their household to take care of them. But I feel like my life doesn't matter or something, just the reaction I'm getting and the amount of friends I'm luckily starting to get a little bit, and I'm hoping that some people will plan on helping, and maybe they just, gotta wait till their payday or something. I want to think that people do care about me and want to see my life spared, see me get the medical treatment I need or the housing I need to get through killing this off completely and through all the Herxheimer reaction flu-like symptoms and stuff that go with clearing it. Still, people don't want to believe the reality of stuff, even if the proof is right in their face. Sad. I don't understand things. But I want to think that I do matter and that my life does matter and that I can get some of everything I've lost. I know there's like literally hundreds of artists that have benefited off of I'm trying to get up. First I'll show you the top of my head and then I'll try to get up. Basically, I had a bump there that got bigger and smaller for as long as I can remember. These sort of sections of hair show that these spots heal and the hair grows back. That one's healing right after having and I hope I'm getting this. I'm so bad at getting the top of my head. Medical industry and people wanted to accuse people of doing this themselves. Well, I can't even photograph the top of my head. How the heck am I going to make all these like white balls like stick right out of all my pores there? It makes absolutely no sense, but it's almost like right there, which seems to be the deepest part, and what all these centered around is where that bump was. I feel like that must be in my soft spot. I don't know. Hopefully I got you a good view of it. I do have some pictures posted, and I will post more, and on my Facebook, which is Sally, gosh, I don't know which Facebook page it is. I have certain accounts and emails and pages that I because of all of this and my memory issues, I forget my passwords and then can't get back into them. But my Sally Stearns Facebook page, or you can find the link on Jewelry by Sally Stearns. There is a way that you can help me out if you feel compassion towards my situation, and if it's $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever you can do to help me, it will save my life. I also, my dog, my service dog Ivan, he jumped a fence trying to get to me because he follows me around and wants to make sure I'm alive, and when I faint, he tries to wake me up and save me, and he's been such a good doggy, and I need him as a service dog, especially some of the situations that this disease has put me in with homelessness, and situations with welfare checks, and loss due to just being sick and having all kinds of sorts of brain dysfunction, even my personality affected, and my anger and rage reactions and parts of our brain are affected by this. But a lot of loss and some very scary, life-threatening type of situations. I have some PTSD a little bit, and so Ivan helps me a bunch. I can't even, it's really hard to lift my head these days, just the amount of pressure up there. I can do this. Ow. Oh. Whew. There's my baby boy. You good boy. Good boy. Yes, you're my baby. I'm a tiny bit concerned about Ivan and his paw there. Oh, he's my baby. He loves his mama so much. He's a 14-year-old German Shepherd. Oh gosh, I can't get back up now. Oh, you're my baby. Oh goodness. Okay. Oh, he's a 14-year-old German Shepherd, and he shouldn't be trying to jump fences these days. But he'll do anything to protect my life, you know, and that's why I need him, and that's why I need to stay in housing so badly, and also because it's allowing me to help focus on fighting this and clearing this infection. So I can live again and get my life back. So here... Hopefully I got that okay. Does this turn it around, Spun? No. I don't know what that does. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. This is my work mess, and I used to be a lot more organized and have a lot better studio space and have an actual thriving business that's inspired a lot of people, and a lot of people are making incomes off this style now. I started it a little over 10 years ago. I feel like I should get credit for this genre, which I would like to call West Punk, Montana Rustic, anything that anyone can suggest to me that'd even be catchier than that would be cool. I am from Butte, Montana, the copper capital of America, richest town on earth. You can see some of Butte's history if you look it up. And I'm back here. I lost my house in Phillipsburg, and I love Phillipsburg, and I missed it there too. That's another little mining city, sapphire mine, and I am a Virgo, September birthday, so of course that's my birthstone. And my wonderful daughter Jubilee finally bought me a pair of sapphire studs, which I love, and church with my life. Thanks, Jubilee. I love you. You're so good to me. And so that piece there is was one of the first pieces. I had an onyx one like that, and I had hammered copper hoop earrings and hammered crosses, which are huge on Etsy now. Look that up. It used to be when you put in hammered copper, there was like 3 pages, and now there's 400 or something. You know, it's being duplicated all over the world. I like to see people are inspired by my genre or what I started in 2008. And that's great. That's great for me if I can get, you know, my health back and my life back and my finances back. Then I feel like I can even do more. That wasn't what I was trying to say, but I totally forgot. But if anyone can help me at all, please, it would really, really help. Me and Mr. Ivan. Look at how sweet he is. We really appreciate it. And I gotta sit down. I don't. Oh my god. You can see more detailed pictures at the top of my head if you want to look at this more. There are articles on government sites that have been there for years and years and years, basically that show the research on this, that it is indeed a Lyme disease co-infection, yet still to this day, and I feel like it's finally changed in the last couple of years, thank God, there's been a ton of lives destroyed because of this disease. Actually, most people in my situation, if they're kind of alone and in a household where they're not being cared for, or don't have the financial resources or the medical care or the understanding, compassion, and this is me doing a lot better, then a lot of them have actually killed themselves that have had severe chronic fatigue or Morgellons or other diseases. You know, we need to have more compassion for people that are really struggling, because lives matter a lot, even if you're the kind of person that can make a contribution, you know, or not. I mean, everyone's got a purpose in life, and we need to fight for people, and we need to think of what's important sometimes, and you know that a lot of people give, and you know there's a lot of problems in the world, but that's why we need to raise awareness about this stuff, and that's why the medical industry needs to be open-minded and not rely on information that is decades old. And when you see these providers, they need to just not dismiss you. They need to actually maybe look at the data, you know. It's horrible. It's horrible to just be accused of being a drug addict when you don't use drugs, and in fact, you know, your own prescriptions are super strong and, you know, get most people high. But for some of us that have these serious brain issues, you know, nothing's worked. I've been through all the antidepressants, all the way through the MAOI, you know, and I just got to get through this disease. I just got to kill it off and finish killing it off. I've been in the disability process. Filing disability was recommended to me by my Medicaid case manager initially, because I never even knew that was an option. I wish I should have done it years and years and years ago. I wish I would have, but I was, you know, at the time I was sort of able to manage making a little jewelry before this happened on my head. You know, it's like I could do a little bit, and I kind of sort of survived, and I know that I've, you know, messed some stuff up with some people, and I feel horrible for, you know, like getting behind on my rent and, you know, all that stuff. I apologize to everyone that I have hurt through this, but I hope you'll understand it's not the person I am. It's so frustrating and difficult going through this and needing help and not being able to find it anywhere. And that's why awareness about Lyme's and the co-infections, it really, hey baby, he gets so concerned when I cry. I love you. The awareness really needs to be the awareness really needs to be raised about these things. So I appreciate you watching and caring and helping, and I love you and doing your part. Thank you.